Do you know Sinner and Alcaraz at 15 are going to be the ones?
Alcaraz, yes. Sinner, no.
I just want people to realize that Carlos is on a pace to become the best of all time.
I'll take a stab at this. I'm going to say Alcaraz. I feel like Sinner and Alcaraz are going to wipe out a lot of generation.
Is Carlos Alcaraz really better than Sinner? He already owns multiple Grand Slams, electrifying the game with fearless power and creativity. But Sinner's consistency and rapid rise make him a real threat. The question is bigger than their rivalry. Could Alcaraz one day become the greatest of all time? The tennis players and the pundits are split, and the battle is just beginning.
Do you know Sinner and Alcaraz at 15 are going to be the ones?
Alcaraz, yes. Sinner, no.
Why so?
No, because I was practicing with Carlos when he was 15 or 16 in Rio de Janeiro, and he was very skinny back then, but the practice was so intense. So I was talking to my coach after, and we were saying, yeah, I mean, this guy's gonna be amazing, 100% at one point. And then I was practicing also with Yannick, I think one time Monte Carlo or something, and you could see that he's a really good player, but and of course possible that he's gonna become a great, but who knows, maybe yes, maybe no. Luckily he became one, but it's very different. Sometimes you can see it's so obvious. I think it was with Rafa and with Carlos, and then there are players who are developing a bit later where you cannot see it.
Carlos knows he needs to be very serious about his practice, about his matches, about everything professional if he wants to become what he can become and express his potential. And I think Juan Carlos also understood that he's young and he needs also time off and enjoy. I think last year was a great lesson. After the Olympics, Carlos didn't take a lot of time off. This year, after Wimbledon, he really rested, and you saw he was so fresh during the whole US swing. It made a big difference. Carlos and Yannick dominating so much, playing all the Grand Slam finals, and winning the matches so easily. Carlos didn't lose a single set before the final. Yannick wins most of the matches during the season quite easily. So you have two guys who are really way above the rest of the crowd, way above. It was the same when Roger and Rafa were dominating at the start of their career. Everybody thought they were unbeatable. And I think that's exactly the feeling that most of the players have at the moment, that those two guys are unbeatable. I always tell the story of young Novak coming up and thinking and saying actually out loud, he's going to beat those two guys and be the best. And nobody believed in that. And all the top tens were thinking it's impossible. We probably are looking for that guy, the third one, if he exists, that believes deep inside himself, those guys are not unbeatable because nobody is, and I'm going to be the one defeating them. If you look at the stats, Carlos is in advance compared to anybody else in the history. He's 22 and a half years old. He won 6 Grand Slams on 3 different surfaces. If you look at the figures, since his first Grand Slam win in 2022 US Open, he won 1 Grand Slam out of 2. He won 6, Sinner 4, Novak 3. That's a rhythm that is incredible. That means 2 a year. He's 22. He's going to play at least 10 more years, probably 15 now because the careers are much longer. If he keeps the same rhythm, he's going to beat the record of all times. Of course, it's early to think about that. He's 22 years old. He has 6 Grand Slams. But if you consider the fact that he's achieved more at that age than anybody in the history, the quality of his game, his physical abilities, his incredible motivation, we can already think about it. Of course, anything can happen. He can get bad injuries. Maybe Sinner is going to find solutions against him in the future. But those two guys are constantly pushing each other. So this is going to be the story of the next 10, 15 years. I just want people to realize that Carlos is on a pace to become the best of all time.
I feel like Sinner and Alcaraz are going to wipe out a lot of generation. You know, it's like what the big 3 did.
I hate it when they do that.
Yeah, and I'm really annoyed that Sinner's not an American. I mean, it's like a German guy, an Austrian. You know, learn to speak German. He lives there at a ski. Shouldn't he have grown up in L.A.? Maybe
I don't know. You know what? I think we can all just be happy that Spain finally has a good male tennis player, right? Like, thank God they waited hours.
But you know what? I feel like honestly, if the next 10 majors if literally nothing happens to Alcaraz and Sinner, what would you put the over-under on them winning the next 10?
All 10? Yeah.
I mean, you almost have to bite your lip, and you can't believe how good they are.
Yannick Sinner hits it so big. Where am I going to find space to take that on and try to get to the net, right? Carlos Alcaraz kind of flipped it. Like, I don't know that I had seen it. We've obviously seen people sneak in, but I think his speed is different than anyone else we've seen. I think his ability to inject pace off of, hit one chip and then inject pace really quickly off the next one, all in real time with like no decision to be made. He would inject pace to a corner as soon as he saw kind of the side or back of Sinner's front shoulder. He was just, screw it, I'm in. I'm like sprinting forward. And even if he gets caught with his hand in the cookie jar, he's such a great volleyer. And I'm just saying, like, his volleying over the last 2 or 3 years, it has become more than elite. And you don't, again, I'm fighting being hyperbolic, but the stuff that he's able to come up with. So even if he gets caught and has a bad read on if the guy's bled out enough, right? If he's extended enough, can he poke a passing shot? He'll pick it up off his shoe tops, and he still has a 50-50 shot of fighting it off just with athleticism. This changes a lot of things. It's not like a chip and charge where it's like a scripted play. It's not like, okay, earn your approach shot, take your approach shot, which is like the basis of every 2-on-1 that's ever been done in training. This is like, I'll hit a short chip. He comes. I already know on the next one, I'm just going to inject pace deep, and I am flying in, like speed with which we haven't seen before. And I'm either going to get a look at a volley, and I can do it, or if I get caught, there's half a chance that I can pull off something miraculous off of my shoe tops. It's not a standard way to come to the net. It's like a bulldozer, but you need so many skills working at the same time with this burst of speed to make it happen. This thing ain't stopping. There's going to be, this thing is just going to go back and forth. Curious to see what, and you also have the players who have the ability to say, okay, Juan Carlos Ferrero is going to tell him stuff that he could never do. And I say that respectfully. I respect everyone who's gotten to where Juan Carlos got. But okay, let's just like make approach shots out of nothing and sprint your ass forward because you're like as fast as Russell Westbrook.
It's like he gets to play like the ultimate video game character.
Totally.
Because he's like, oh yeah, won't you try that?
Right.
Then he does it.
How much fun is that? It's like, I couldn't do this, but fuck it. I got someone who can. Yeah. This is great.
Who do we think will be the first to complete the career slam, Sinner or Alcaraz? Obviously, Alcaraz needs to win the Aussie. Sinner needs to win Roland Garros. I'll take a stab at this. I'm going to say Alcaraz just because he has the first shot at it.
Yeah, good point.
Winning the Aussie Open. I think just by virtue of that, the Aussie Open being the next major. It's a weird one that he hasn't done that well at that tournament.
I don't think he's even made a final.
No, he has
Has
not
he even made a semi?
Zverev has gotten him. Djokovic has gotten them there in recent years. It's a weird one that he hasn't with that level that we saw at the U.S. Open. If he brings that, no one's beating him, as we know.
I'm agreeing with you. I think Alcaraz has a better shot. Him winning there on the hard courts feels more feasible than Yannick winning on the clay. Not that Yannick's not like dominant on the clay. He could have won it this year, but it just feels like, maybe Yannick comes up against like Musetti and then Casper, and then Alcaraz is a little tougher. Give the slight edge to Carlos on that one.